Mr. Way is up next, item number 11.
Did we move the table back? Did we move the table back?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thanks. The applicant is here to request design review and Board of Adjustment. This is for a 232 square foot addition to single-family home in the R1 zone. This project does include upper-level additions, and for that reason, there is a staff report that was prepared for you. Other issues include requested variances, and the variances include a request to encroach into the rear setback, to encroach into the additional building setback both at the front and the rear, and also to maintain non-conforming site conditions, which include the rear setback and the building height. We do have a number of letters on file expressing concern regarding the amount of program that's being proposed on this site. And with that, I will conclude my introduction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Applicant has 5 minutes.
Good evening, Carl Everson, architect, representing Mr. David Nail, who could not be here tonight. Let's talk about this building for a second. This is a Chris Abel house. He designed and built it in '73. I think it's an iconic kind of a project. My goal through the whole process has been to keep that integrity intact of what he started out with. If you've been in the house, you can look at the numbers, the square footage numbers, but you get inside and you actually see that it's really a very, very tight little house. Everything's very pointed, lots of triangular corners. That was my first goal, was to keep the house as close to what he originally started as possible. The variances that are being requested, Mr. Sadler made a comment about codes being written in the past on the last project. This building could not be built under the present day codes, period. The lot wouldn't hold it. But at that time, it was a legal building. It's a tough lot. It's got topography problems. It's got a really odd shape to it. My client just wants to expand the inside of it, the living area, a little bit more. And that's what this is. We're swallowing up a deck that really doesn't get used. I've been in touch with the neighbors. I've been very concerned about the privacy issues. I've tried to work through these as best I can. Again, as far as the variances, I do believe that the size, shape, and topography is justification for the variance. Since the project was staked, I have made some adjustments. When I saw the staking, I wasn't really happy with the way the addition was engaging the existing structure. At that point, I requested to the owner that we be allowed to drop the entire roof 1 foot. Now, I left some messages on some of your phones indicating that there had been a new line strung, that's where the roof would be dropped to. And that's how I would like to present the project with the roof at the lower level tonight. If there's any questions I can answer, I'll be glad to.
Thank you. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this project, please come up. You have 3 minutes. And would you sign in afterwards?
My name is Jay Young. I live immediately adjacent to Mr. Nail's home. He is an absentee owner who has been less than cooperative and has alienated virtually all of the neighbors, as well as has violated the city codes in reference to short-term rental policy. The requested variance is very close to our homes and impacts the views of the Kirchies, as well as potential noise factors, which have been a problem in the past, as attested by multiple police calls caused by parties by the short-term renters. So I don't know what the reason is for the addition, but I think this really has been, Mr. Nail has very much alienated virtually the entire community. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next speaker. You have to write your name on our list, sir. Thank you. And after you're done speaking, there you go. Come on up.
Yes. My name is Philip Robert Taylor, and my wife and I have lived at 825 La Mirada Street for over 30 years, and we've raised our family there. I fully agree with all of Dr. Young's comments, and I'd just like to add some others. We, like all the many neighbors we've talked to on this, oppose this project based on many factors, including overbuilding for the lot size, building too close to the neighbors' homes, and the effect on neighbors' views and light. But there's another reason the neighborhood opposes this. I wrote a letter to the board April 27th with full detail on this. In summary, it is illegally advertised on many websites as a hotel or bed and breakfast in violation of the February 6th City Council denial of an application for a short-term let. About 20 of us came and spoke in opposition on February 6th, with no Laguna resident in favor. A noisy party house advertised as sleeping 8 and seating for 23 in a 2-bedroom, which is, I think, being agreed to be a small building, with maybe up to 200 people parking cars up and down the street, is too much for our quiet residential neighborhood. The hotel there is still in operation today, 3 months after the February 6th ruling, in open contempt of the city's efforts to shut it down. All the neighbors I've talked to also oppose tonight's application, with none in favor. Now, we could have had maybe 20 or so neighbors come down, all take up your time, all saying the same thing, but just a few of the closer ones have come tonight, maybe about 6 or 8, and the other 20 I've agreed to just speak the same things as they would say. We'd all be otherwise speaking the same thing and taking an hour of your time. We're all concerned that whatever you decide tonight, and we really hope you oppose this because you're approving a hotel, not a house, an 8-bedroom hotel, sleeps 8 hotel, which is a 2-bedroom, and a very small house, with up to 200 people maybe there sometimes, if you can imagine that. But also, they've been contempt for 3 months of the city's ruling, so I would like you to emphasize tonight that whatever you decide, they must follow and must not be in contempt. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just so you all know, you have perfectly able to say anything you would like about anything you would like. You have 3 minutes, but we will be basing our decisions on design only. So we won't be able to do anything about other issues other than design. So if you'd like to keep your comments to the design and the neighborhood compatibility about the design, that's mostly what we're going to hear. We won't be able to do anything about anything else. So could we have the next speaker?
Good evening. I'm Gary Kershke. I live at 2549 Bonita Way, the immediate neighbor to this residence. I'd like to start by getting some clarification on the variance. I brought a copy of the front page here, and it says the purpose. A variance procedure is designed to permit adjustments to the zoning regulations when there are special or extraordinary circumstances. I guess I have to question, what are the out of the ordinary circumstances? To my way of thinking, this gentleman is only adding more rooms to get more people in there to make more rent. Also, states here, the applicant should thoroughly investigate alternatives to see if there's any way to accomplish the purpose of the project without requiring a variance. So the only variance that I'm aware of is the overhang of the roof. So again, he wants every inch to add more footage for his hotel. As far as the views and the trees, those of you that were able to stop out there and take a look at the property, you'll notice that he has a forest of full-grown pine trees. I think on first looks, it's very attractive. A lot of people enjoy that. My wife and I kind of agreed when we first bought the house. Unfortunately, after living there,